Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be joined by Matti, and we're going to be chatting about his research on phenomenological strands for gaming disorder and esports play. So whilst we hold the interview, we are going to be playing a bit of powerline.io, so if you have any comments or questions or future topics you'd like to recommend to us, please let us know down below in the comments, and we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we recommend that quite a lot here, because I know certainly for myself, and since COVID, like a lot of people game for social reasons. And if you can kind of not replace that, I'm not saying replace gaming, because obviously gaming can be absolutely great for social aspects, but if you can find that sensation elsewhere, like a club or a sport or sorry, I just got boxed in there by about 10 worms. A club or a sport, then yeah, that's great too. How are you getting on in this game, by the way?
Well, I just started some time ago, so I had to start again, and now I'm alive.
Nice. Well, do you know what your high score has been so far?
I didn't check. Probably not very good because, yeah,
It's actually quite tough, isn't it? It's tougher than it looks.
yeah, it takes time to get used to the like how to interact with other people. Like as long as you're alone, it's okay, but when other people
Yeah.
get around you,
And they start like boxing you in, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you get—I don't know if you've noticed, you get quicker. Like the closer you move alongside someone, you build up speed, but obviously it makes it harder to control.
oh yeah.
But yeah, we've discussed the type of people, the type of games, the type of community. Is there any tips or any statistics you think that the viewers would like to hear that maybe surprised you when you conducted your research? Sorry, I know this is quite a vague question, but I quite like this question because sometimes we get some statistics that surprise everyone.
Well, this was a qualitative study, so in that one, there's not really sort of statistical outcomes. One of the things that we did see, so also we gave these, I don't know if anyone has taken these sort of gaming problem questionnaires where you test whether people have a problem or not. And we saw that basically all of them are totally not really working very well. So,
Okay.
oh my God, there was somebody with this crazy speed and just killed me.
I get that all the time.
I don't know how it gets this speed, but yeah, we saw that like none of the ones that are the most validated and the most sort of used ones in the current literature didn't really work. So people who were seeking treatment didn't really score high on them, and the best one that we that in our sample was working best, put it this way, was just this one single question which asks directly, how often do you think you have problems with gaming? And this single question was sort of the most accurate measure for whether we could distinguish somebody who's just playing intensively for fun or whether.
Okay, that's very interesting. And what was there an answer that then you thought, okay, that determines there could be a possible problem, or?
Well, there's a possible problem in the literature. For instance, just give you an example, and this is also feedback that we received from the participants. So, for instance, one of the questions asks, what was the question? I can't remember them exactly, but something like, just give me a second to recall that. Yeah, one of the question is, have you increased your interest in gaming? Like one of the criteria in the diagnostic manual is increased interest in gaming. So the question asks, has your interest in gaming increased over the past year or something like that? And when you have a person who is seeking treatment, they've been playing for 20 years. Their interest in gaming has not increased, let's say, within the past 10 years at all. Like they've been playing maximum for a decade. So these kinds of questions that are being used in the sort of psychiatric studies are not very good if they are phrased in this way. And in the future, hopefully there will be better measures for evaluating these sort of things.
Okay, so like your question that that you said about was a really good indicator. How often do you think you have gaming problems? What were the possible answers to that question? Was it just like X amount of times a week, or how did the answers look for that?
I think the answers were never, sometimes, often, almost always, and always, like 5 options, if I remember right.
Wow, okay. And that gave you the best kind of indicator.
Yeah. So those who were in seeking treatment, they were saying always or almost always. At least, I think it was, if I remember right, 3 or 4 of them. Whereas the other measures didn't identify almost anyone.
Right. Okay, that's super interesting. And what would you classify as like when you say how often do you have problems gaming? What would you classify as a gaming problem?
Well, that's the thing. Like, people in this case have also, and this is, I think, a benefit of this single question, that people can themselves decide what is a gaming problem. So as we spoke earlier, like, there are so many different things. Like, some people spend too much money. Some people just like cannot quit even if they want. Like, they feel they're paying too much. Some people feel that they're sort of having other obligations they would like to do, but they just can't really do them because gaming sort of is too high on a priority list. Some people, I remember, were like having social problems in the community that we're playing. So, for instance, a lot of like fights in a guild or with friends, and they felt like they were disconnected or something. Like, people are very different, and they have very different problems for which they need or want help. And when you frame it that way, let them themselves decide what is the problem. You don't get a perfect group. Like, you don't have 100% accuracy on capturing every relevant individual, but at least you have the best available accuracy, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So you kind of let them decide. I suppose everyone's independently got their own opinion on what constitutes a problem. So yeah, that's super interesting. Yeah, okay, that's a good question. So your advice would be for anyone out there, if they are taking one of these like quizzes online, would be maybe to take the answer with a pinch of salt, because obviously then they can't always be 100% accurate.
Yeah, definitely. Like, of course, if you score very high on any of these questionnaires that are made for measuring these problems, you might consider like asking an expert to help you, because if you score high, that's usually not a good thing. But don't be too much worried about if you score high, because that's also for a lot of healthy people might score high as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, perfect. Is there anywhere our viewers / listeners out there can find your research, Matti? Like a website or?
Yeah, so we have this new European Research Council project that we started a few months ago, and we have a website. I can put the link somewhere in the if you have show notes or something like that.
Yep.
So we have our ongoing research there, and if anyone has any questions that sort of came up over this talk, I'll be happy to respond either in email or I don't know, some social media things that I'm involved. Not in many of them, but some of them.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll stick it in the show notes for any listeners or any viewers out there, so they can tune in and check out your research, and, like you say, ask you any questions that they might have. But yeah, I think that's perfect. Thanks for answering all my questions, Matti.
No worries. Thanks for the invitation. Very fun to be here, and also trying to. What's your PB in the Snake game?
Oh, my PB. To be honest, it was probably earlier when I got to rank 4. I think I was like 2,500.
Wow, that's quite crazy.
What's your PB?
I just started. I don't know. I think I was like 200 points or something before I crashed, or maybe 300.
I've had too much practice. That's all that tells me. I've spent too much time playing power lines.
Yeah, but this is really cool. Yeah,
it is quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's easy to like just chat while it gives you something to focus on. Because my hands are always like tapping away.
Yeah, I have the same. Like when you learn like internalize the mechanics so that you don't have to think about them anymore, then it just like helps you to focus on other things as well.
Yeah, it just becomes muscle memory, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
just a distraction. I have that all the time. Like sometimes I'm playing with my friends, and like when we're playing at like 2 a.m. on a weekend, and it's just like we're basically just there to have a conversation. The game is just a platform used for us as like a distraction to have a conversation. Because I mainly game for social reasons, so I can speak to my friends, but as I'm sure many of the listeners do. But yeah, like you say, it's like a good distraction while you play to be able to chat. Oh, that is a big worm I've just seen in your game.
Yeah. I had to try this little gap there, like if I could do it, but
that would have been impressive.
But you can see it was impossible. Like on the right side, it was so close to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your best score as well, 510. Oh, my best score, 3,940. Wow, I'll take that. I will take that.